Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of my Blood Elf Warlock Let's Play series, where today I want to go ahead and head over towards the Farstrider Enclave, and we're going to spend a lot of this episode interacting with trolls, but we also have some quests to interact with the Night Elves, which is kind of interesting because trolls are basically the predecessors to Night Elves, where we have this entire weird story going on that I've been talking about with how the Blood Elves come from the High Elves who come from the Night Elves. Well, Night Elves come from Dark Trolls, which come from trolls in general, where trolls used to live all across the world of Azeroth, and they spread out to many different places, and where we have the Forest Trolls here, but there was a group of trolls known as Dark Trolls who went and basically settled along the coast of the Well of Eternity, and they slowly transformed into the Kaldorei, the Night Elves. So in this map we are interacting with 3 different races of trolls, Night Elves, and Blood Elves, and they're all basically kind of the same race at the end of the day if you go back far enough in lore. Where we have Quel'Thalas here, where we have some Blood Elves right here hanging out with these Night Elf corpses, where we have this camp of Night Elves, which seems to have been captured by the Blood Elves, and now we can go ahead and go deactivate the Moon Crystal at Anowin, which is going to be just south of here, except there are some ambushers, so I need to remember how to play my class, where I'm currently playing as a Warlock, and my mouse is currently being a little bit weird, so it kind of seems like we might be like shaking a little bit here with my cursor. Maybe I need to switch my mouse out. But let's go ahead and head to the south down here, where we have all the different leyline nexuses all around here that the Night Elves are basically channeling energy from. And we have this group right here that we can go ahead and begin defeating, and we have to get to the Moon Crystal in the center. Just a variety of different infiltrators. I don't see any leaders around here. I don't see any Blood Elves here helping us out as well. Looks like they have some like rogue abilities. And we're just spinning a win right there with my Felguard. Let's sneak into right here, where we do need a crystal controlling orb, so I think we have to find one from one of the Night Elves around here potentially. I could always do the classic read the quest, because it's always going to tell you what you need to do. It says down here, you must go to Anowin, retrieve the controlling orb from one of the Night Elves, and then use it on the Moon Crystal to stop them from enacting their plan. So let's go ahead and just kill a few more right here. And there's our controlling orb. So let's go ahead and deactivate this Night Elf Moon Crystal now. So this is the third of the 3 different leyline nexuses, where we dealt with the one up here, and then this group dealt with this one here, and now we have dealt with this one here, and we just enjoyed a little bit of the ambiance of the Ghostlands, where it's definitely a very cool environment that is just absolutely beautiful, and we can see a ton of troll encampments right over there, and we can see off in the distance a very, very massive wall that I want to check out in just a little bit. But first we need to go turn in this quest, and this will provide us with some experience, and we do get this offhand item, and that is the end of this quest chain. So let's go ahead and run over here to the Enclave, and let's see if we can equip this. We can equip this with a wand, so that's very interesting. So we have this Hoodoo wand right now, and now we have this Divining Crystal, which altogether increases our intellect, stamina, and then a little bit of our critical strike chance, which is fun. So I actually really like this a lot with the wand and the crystal. Kind of just have like a cool like weapon set going on right now, where I do tend to like to use like a staff because it has good stats and it's just always like fun to like have on your character as it just like hangs out on your back while you cast. But there's always something fun about having like a main hand item and an offhand item as well, especially when the offhand items for like magical casters tend to be something like a divining crystal, for example, or like a book or something along those lines. But here we have the Farstrider Enclave, which is very similar to the Farstrider Retreat, which we explored in Eversong Woods, but here it is a little bit more kind of like run down, a little more mossy, a little more grown over. But we have a bunch of quests here to do with the Farstriders and Serene City and Tranquillian. Alright, let's go ahead and complete this quest where we are going to get some nice gloves there. And now we can go ahead and pick up all of these quests, which we have one to go into the waters over there. But let's go ahead and just run all around here where we have this apothecary over there. And is there someone right here? Yes, another ranger, where we need to go into the Amani catacombs, which is a very nostalgic area for me actually. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start with dealing with some of the undead down here. So we have these vengeful apparitions and these ravening apparitions. And then there's another quest that I can get. I think it might be on the island over there. So let's go ahead and swim towards the island, where there are like some mounds of dirt down here. And we can see this like sunken canoe right there, sunken on the bottom of this lake, Lake Elrondar, where of course we've been exploring like the river Elrondar coming from all the way over here, and there's like this waterfall that goes into Eversong Woods, and there must be like some source right here. But this lake is a pretty big area here in the Ghostlands, where if you remember last episode we started off up at Suncrown Village, and then we were dealing with the trolls right on the edge of the lake here, and we were going back and forth. Now we are on the southern end of the lake, which I think is fun to be able to like come down here and explore this area, and now we have some quests to do around here as well. I just got a large knapsack, a 12 slot bag. So let's go ahead and replace our 4 slot bag maybe. And now we have a lot more bag space. And we have a ghost, a 1 Janus Whitemore right here, where we can go ahead and collect 8 wave front medallions, which I believe, yes, we have these mounds of dirt, this glistening mud that we have been running, or I guess more properly swimming past into this lake, where we can go ahead and go to them, and we can go ahead and get these medallions where this individual is cursed, and we can go ahead and try to break his curse, where first we need these medallions. Where I don't think there's anything tricky with this glistening mud. I think we can just pick it up and like nothing's gonna pop out at us and try to kill us, though we do have everything else around us that are going to try to kill us. Speaking of which, I should go ahead and make sure I use my health stone and my soul stone, which I always forget to do these two things. It's kind of just like buffing ourselves up. So let's go ahead and get them. So if we die, we can go ahead and just resurrect right where we are at. And we have to do this every, I guess it's 20 minutes because the cooldown, oh, it's 10 minutes. We can do this every 10 minutes, and we need to make sure we do it at least every 15 minutes just to keep this buff on us. Where I don't think I've died in this series yet, and maybe I should knock on wood like that. So far we have done well. Maybe I have died. Have I died? I don't remember. But we can go ahead and just do our best moving forward and make sure we don't die. Though it doesn't really matter too much if we die. It just mildly inconveniences us for a little bit, and it does cost us a little bit of money to repair our armor, which as we are taking damage from enemies, we are going to lose a little bit of durability on our armor that we'll have to pay in order to restore. But if we die, we're going to lose a lot of that durability. So in Retail World of Warcraft, where you get so much gold, it doesn't really matter too much, but it's definitely something to consider in Classic WoW, because you can definitely be struggling for gold here and there. where we are leveling up pretty quickly, which I talked a lot about with my Draenei Warrior, where I was so surprised by how fast we were leveling, and I ended that series at level 30, I believe, and we are now level 21, and we do have quite a bit left to do here in the Ghostlands. I feel like Eversong Woods and Ghostlands combined definitely has like more content than Azure Mist and Blood Mist, but I think that's okay with me, because while I do love Azure Mist and Blood Mist, I do think I enjoy these two zones more, just comparing them directly to each other, and I definitely tend to have quite a bit more fun in these zones, though I do tend to prefer the Horde as a whole a bit less. So I think like playing as a Draenei character is like more fun than playing as a Blood Elf character, though Blood Elves are really cool. Where I'm someone who always wanted like High Elves as a member of the Alliance, which we kind of get in retail World of Warcraft with the Void Elves. But like a perfect world for me would be playing through these zones and then joining the Alliance, but of course that is not how the story goes, and of course that's okay. But now we can go ahead and swim up this way, where we can vanish this water elemental Aquantion, who is responsible for his curse, I believe. So we can go ahead and come down to this altar of tidal mastery, which, going back to what we were talking about with like the trolls and the blood elves and the high elves and the night elves, we got another member of that very, very complicated family tree with the Naga, where we start with the trolls, more specifically the dark trolls, and they become night elves. Then from night elves we see the Naga, which is night elves that were taken beneath the waves and basically were seduced by the whispers of N'Zoth, the old god. And then we have the High Elves branching off from the Night Elves that then became the Blood Elves, as I've mentioned many times in this Let's Play series. It's just a very interesting interconnected family of races that all come from the Trolls, who are original inhabitants of Azeroth, unlike certain races like the Orcs. But we have vanquished this water elemental, so let's go ahead and swim back up here really quickly, where we should be able to turn in this quest, and then I can just swim back towards the Enclave and turn in these quests as we kill a few more vengeful apparitions like this one right here. And then I need to keep an eye out for Ghost Claw Lynxes, because I need to kill 10 of them. But then we have two areas we can go, where we can go here and then we can go here to Zul'Aman, which I think I'll go explore the catacombs first if I'm going to pick one. But let's turn in this quest.
The dark times will pass.
Where we leveled up to level 22, which is fun. So we should have a new talent point, where we have a new Warlock talent point. And we need to put in 2 more talents. Speaking of that interconnected family, the Satyrs also come from the Night Elves, but they were corrupted by a different old god. I don't entirely remember the lore, but they were once Night Elves as well. But we need to put in 2 points into this tree in order to progress to this line. So let's go ahead and maybe... I kind of want to get the stamina, so let's go ahead and just learn Curse of Enfeeblements, and we're going to get 2 brand new curses that I can go ahead and put right there, where we can now complete this quest, which ends that quest chain. And now we can go ahead and come over here to the Amani Catacombs and explore this area, which is a very interesting area, because whenever I think of the Ghostlands, I think of a bunch of different things, but this specific area and these specific quests are always more towards the forefront of my brain compared to like many other areas around here, where we have 2 quests we currently have, but as we explore this area we are going to see 1 more quest for us to complete. At least there should be one. It's not showing up on the map, but I'm pretty sure there's a quest in here unless they removed it. And currently we have to kill just a bunch of trolls here in the catacombs, where we do have some mummified trolls that we can go ahead and defeat, and then some living trolls that we can defeat, both of which have a chance to drop troll juju. And then since we are in the catacombs, we can go ahead and try to prevent these mummified trolls from coming back to life, where we have these remains here that we can go ahead and just burn with a torch. Where this troll ran into the wall a little bit, and that's so weird. There we go. But now we can go ahead and interact with the troll remains, and we can burn it, and we have to wait. Oh, we only have to wait 1 second. I think in the original Burning Crusade, you have to wait like 10 seconds before you can burn another one of these remains, which kind of made this quest a little bit annoying, but for us, this is going to be pretty quick to complete, and we can go ahead and try to explore this area a little bit, where we did actually see the back entrance, or maybe the main entrance. I think it's more the back entrance, right over here, this cave entrance near Suncrown Village. I think I looked up this way, and it's just like, you know, a little troll camp with like 2 tents, but then the entrance to these catacombs, which we actually have a map of these catacombs, which is very, very interesting. Where I wonder, it does not show all the different like sub-maps for the Ghostlands. At least I don't think you can see it, but we can just come in through here. We have a few chambers here, this like big chamber right here, which looks a little inappropriate, and then we have a little back entrance that goes off in the other direction. But as we get closer to this room over here, just further into the catacombs, we can see a quest with this ranger, which we need to come into this room in order to fully investigate the Amani catacombs. We're right outside that room, but we just have a few more trolls in here, plus these remains that we can go ahead and torch. So we could probably just complete our quest right here with these two, and then we can go ahead and chat with this ranger who is held captive, and we can go ahead and free her. And then we have a very infamous type of quest in World of Warcraft and in video games in general, where we have an escort quest. So we need to escort her out of this area, which we kind of want to be a little bit prepared to like actually leave this area if we want to optimize our time a little bit. Where I have burned all of the remains, and I only need 2 more troll juju, which I feel like I can get those 2 troll juju on the way out. So I can go ahead and just free this far strider ranger, and we can go ahead and just slowly walk our way out of here. Which a lot of people tend to like actually not like escort quests too much. I just made like a little bit of a joke there, but it's honestly not that bad, and I don't mind it too much, and I find it ultimately a decently enjoyable experience. There are, you know, the occasional escort quests that are like really annoying, but like this one in particular is not annoying at all, and I never really struggle with it. That is to say, I do tend to mostly play on player versus environment realms, where everyone who's a member of the Horde and Alliance running around in the world are basically like neutral towards each other, unless an individual person decides they want to become hostile towards the other faction. But for the most part, most people just are neutral towards each other and are never fighting each other in the open world. But in player versus player servers, and where everyone is hostile towards each other basically no matter what, escort quests can become quite a bit more annoying if you're trying to escort an NPC and then you have to deal with members of the other faction as well, and maybe you spend like 5 minutes escorting an NPC and then just get absolutely demolished by a rabid group of like Alliance adventurers in our case, as we're a member of the Horde, and that can be really annoying. And it's just one of the variety of reasons why I don't tend to enjoy playing on PvP servers. But we can exit the catacombs here, where I do still need 2 more troll juju. And a little bit of a spoiler, I think a few trolls are about to spawn, but I might have to run back in for just a quick moment in order to try to get some more. Where there's the one right there, but I do think we are about to get attacked. So let's go ahead and hang out with her for a second, where we have these 2 trolls right here. Troll ambush. The Farstrider Enclave is right over there, so we are almost done with this quest, and she should be able to run the rest of her way there. Where we did get 1 troll juju there, let's go ahead and just ensure her safety for another moment and make sure she is able to get over there safely, where she is now running, and she's going to run this way, where we have this quest marker right here, and it looks like we want to stick with her, so let's go ahead and just continue running over here. I guess we will have to run back that way just to get 1 more item for our other quest. And she says, "Thank you for saving my life and bringing me to safety, Athaselian. Captain Helios, I've been rescued from the Amani catacombs, reporting for duty, sir. Lalatha," or however you pronounce the name, get someone to look at those injuries. "Thank you for bringing her back safely. We're gonna go ahead and just turn in this quest really quickly. We get Troll Kickers, which is definitely an upgrade to the Tranquillian armor that I currently have equipped, which, yeah, that armor used to be a lot better like back in the day, but it's now like scaled down really hard. Alright, let's go ahead, and we have a few trolls out here, so it shouldn't take, no, there's one that just respawned right there. It shouldn't take too long in order to get one more piece of troll juju, where they love to run into very like obscure areas, like deep into the wall and over the mountains. And we have these two trolls right here, where I'm mostly just casting Shadow Bolt over and over, where I do have like the ability to do like more complicated rotations with all the abilities I have unlocked, but pretty much for the most part I'm just going to be standing here and pressing one over and over, which is definitely not the most like intriguing, but it gets the job done. Where we have this troll right here, where he also dropped a troll juju, but we cannot pick it up because we currently have all of the ones we need. And with having all the ones we need, let's go ahead and turn in these two quests, where we need to go way upstairs. Final Surge complete quests, where it looks like this might be related to the anniversary event, not entirely sure. But we can go ahead and... Did I just jump down when there's a quest up there? Oh, there's not a quest up there. Alright, let's go ahead and run around this way. And I got the Rotting Hand Wraps, which can be found somewhere down here, where it's not necessarily an upgrade. So I'll just leave everything as it is for now. Where we have some Ghost Claw Lynxes around here. And I remember there being a quest up this way, which I don't currently have a quest, so I'm not sure if I'm just like completely forgetting about something, or if it's maybe it's a mage quest, because I was through here a couple years ago playing as a mage character. Maybe it was specifically for mages. Oh, I know what it is. It's a quest way later on in this map. So we can return to Dawnstar Spire in the future, and we'll take a better look at it in the future, because we are going to have a quest specifically to go over there. But now, let's go ahead and continue killing some of these lynxes, because we need to for our quest. But now we have the Trolls of Zul'Aman, where there are a lot of troll encampments down here, where we have this Attack on Zul'Aman quest that we can do, but we also have this quest, Shadow Pine Weaponry, where we have all these Shadow Pine trolls all around here in the southeastern Ghostlands that we can go ahead and deal with. But in this area, we are going to have Shadowcasters who will drop maces for us, and we're going to have Headhunters who drop axes for us. So we're going to complete half of this quest now, and then we're going to complete this Attack on Zul'Aman quest, and then we can go ahead and turn in the Zul'Aman and get another quest to come down here, where we will be able to complete the other quest while we are down there completing the new quest as well. Where we have been exploring a lot of the troll storyline so far in this Let's Play series, with the Trolls of Zul'Aman of the Amani Empire, where we are now basically in their heartland, where these are some of the villages closest to their capital, and we are about to basically complete this entire quest chain going through these two zones. We just have a few more quests left to complete. But we reached level 23, where we have a new talent ability, but we got a new demon minion, where we have our Felguard, and I think I'm probably going to stick with our Felguard, but we can take a moment to explore the Fel Hunter. So let's say goodbye for just a quick moment to Riven Shulkin and summon our Fel Hunter Zatum, which actually might be nice to use against these like magical casters of the Shadow Casters, because of the spell lock ability counters the enemy spell cast, preventing any spell from that school of magic from being cast for 5 seconds. And then they devour magic, where they purge beneficial effects from enemies, and they cause shadow damage as well. So they're actually like decent against these specific enemies, so they're nice to have against like any spellcasters, but we can see they will not hold the attention of our enemies, and they do deal a fair bit less damage. So it was fun to experience this demon for just a little bit, but let's say goodbye to him, probably forever, and let's summon back our Felguard friend. And we can go ahead and just kill a few more trolls to complete this quest, where actually kill quite a bit of headhunters. where here's the last headhunter that I need. So we can go ahead and just could run straight back to the Enclave, but I think I might take like the scenic route back, where we can go ahead and just like loop like this maybe and kill a few lynxes along the way, like these two right here.
I'm out of range.
A very fun thing about this corner of the map is that we are starting to see some of the trees that we kind of associate with like the forest of Quel'Thalas and with the Amani Empire, where we have these really fun trees here, and we can see all the dead trees off in the distance as well, which are very sad, but these trees are very cool looking. Which Zul'Aman, the interior of that dungeon / raid, is very cool looking as well. But now let's turn into these quests, where now we need to kill some spindleweb lurkers and some vampiric mistbats, and then we have this quest right here that we can just turn in, where we can now go kill some more of the trolls, but we can kill Quel'Thalas the Wicked and get this well-crafted staff, which seems a much better than what we currently have equipped. So let's go ahead and accept that, and we have another quest up here that we can go ahead and get as well from this apothecary, where we can go ahead and poison the troll foodstuff at Zebnoa. So we have a grand total of 4 different quests down here, where we also have this vampiric mistbat and spindleweb lurker quest that we can work on as well throughout this area. So let's go ahead and kill this mistbat really quickly, and then we can get back up onto our mount. And let's go explore the final areas down here, where we have Zebnoa, which is basically this entire stretch of land right here. In this area we are fighting some cat lords, and we are also fighting some hexers, where we can get the cat lord claws and hexer staves, where we need to kill a few more of each of them compared to the original quest. And an interesting thing with the cat lords is that they have some lynxes hanging out with them. Of course, since our cat lords are going to have cats alongside them, so they are going to be enemies where we need to basically like fight 2 enemies, or maybe more like 1.5 enemies with every single enemy that we fight, just because they have an ally with them. But let's go ahead and take a look at our talents, because we have a new talent point that I unlocked earlier, where we can teach our Felguard the following ability: strike into the soul of the enemy, dealing 84 shadow damage. That seems pretty decent, so let's go ahead and learn that. And now our Felguard can go ahead and do a little bit more extra damage, and I think it might be like a range ability too. But there's just always something really nostalgic about fighting forest trolls, and I talked about this a lot last episode, where an acorn or whatever just fell on my roof, but they just have a phenomenal vibe with like the trolls here in the Ghostlands, with how they look, and how these are trolls that have like moss growing on them, that's why they're green. It's just a fantastic vibe. But we have this fresh fish rack that we can go ahead and come into here and poison with the poison that we got for the quest, a little dash of seasoning, which is definitely kind of a messed up quest, just to like poison the food supply of like the people you're fighting, but you know, it's what the apothecary wants us to do in order to complete the quest, and that kind of fits in with the vibes of who the Forsaken are as a whole. Where we have this part of the camp here, where we've almost completed the weaponry quest. But let's go ahead and run over this road here and come explore the southern part, where we have these quests down here that we can complete, and we could go up there and explore that road on the way back. Where we have some more hexers and some more cat lords over here, but I see this raw meat rack that we can poison like so, and now we only have one more to get a little further south. Where we have some sort of like well structure here, or a statue, which is very interesting. And then we see a bunch of ancient troll ruins all around here, with some more modern troll huts built amongst them, where we can see the Troll Empire is definitely very, very old and has suffered a variety of defeats over the years, but they have persevered and they have built more modern looking huts, which I really like. This architecture style, I suppose you could call it, this specific like set of models that they have to use for like the forest troll buildings, where we see them here and we see them here and there in the future of the game, especially in Northrend. In the Grizzly Hills they have some buildings similar to this, which is a very, very fun area to explore. Here is the last thing we need to poison, that meat rack, smoked meat rack, where we have now completed this quest alongside the weaponry quest. So let's just kill 3 more cat lords, and then we have the boss, Quel'Thalas the Wicked. And this is kind of a fun boss because we have been exploring the trolls of Zul'Aman, as I mentioned, throughout Eversong Woods and the Ghostlands, where I mentioned we have a final boss. This final boss, we're basically killing this enemy, completes the storyline of the Amani Empire through these 2 zones, where we do have the Raid of Zul'Aman, which basically picks up the storyline where we fight Zul'Jin. And then with Cataclysm, we see that storyline picked up again, and then we see like various future expansions, like with the Battle for Azeroth expansion, we see it picked up here and there. But as far as like the leveling experience for the dealing with the forest trolls from like level 1 to 20 in the Burning Crusade, we see that coming to a conclusion right here in this very building, where let's go ahead and clear these 2 hexers, climb up these stairs, discover the Thalassian range, the southern mountains here of Quel'Thalas, and discover Quel'Thalas the Wicked, where this is a bit of a powerful boss, an elite boss. So let's go ahead and crack out our rotation. Let's start with the Shadow Bolt, and then let's go Corruption, and then let's go Curse of Weakness, and call Dreadstalkers, where he says, haha, gonna kill puny Riven Shokin and make a trophy of your skull. Where we have cast all these abilities. Let's go ahead and maybe send in our Imp there, and let's put another Corruption on, and let's go ahead and, where is it, Blood Funnel, let's heal our friend here because he almost died, and I'll just heal him back to full health so he can continue tanking Quel'Thalas for us. And then we can cast like 1 more Shadow Bolts, and that should be all we need. We do have our Demon Bolt ability that I can go ahead and cast. I want to put that there. Not sure why I moved that up there. I think I meant to move this here. There we go. And we have completed this quest, where I got the head of Quel'Thalas the Wicked, and I just need to kill 2 more cat lords. Where upon doing so, we now have quite a few quests that we can turn in over here. But first, let's explore the outskirts of Zul'Aman, where we do have this fly path down here that we could fly to if we wanted to, but we can go ahead and just run up this way, where we have such an incredible area here, where I love the looks and aesthetics of this place, where we have the Amani Pass, and there is a phenomenal cinematic trailer that released during the original Burning Crusade that you can watch, and if I remember, I'll post a link down in the description, but you can watch the trailer for this area, where we have some Far Strider troll hunters here, and we have Zul'Jin hanging out over here, where this is the updated version with Cataclysm, where I think the Burning Crusade version is actually a fair bit cooler, where we have a band of adventurers who we hang out with, including Bud, which we see more of in the Wrathlish Keen and in the Cataclysm, and I think they return here and there in the future. But now we have Hadron Brightwing, Ranger General of Silver Moon, and we have Verisa Windrunner, Ranger General of the Silver Covenant, where these are 2 very cool characters. Verisa is a high elf, and this is a bit of a Rathlishkin storyline where we meet with her, but we have like a Cataclysm storyline right here in a map that is mostly locked in the Burning Crusade, but there's also some like, I think it's like Shadowlands or Battle for Azeroth storylines going on as well, which, so, you know, modern World of Warcraft is just a little confusing at times. But it's cool to see Verisa Windrunner, who is the sister of Valeria Windrunner, as well as Sylvanas Windrunner, which We have a Windrunner village and a Windrunner spire right over here, which used to be the home for Risa, as well as Sylvanas and Ilaria, as well as their brother, who was killed by the orcs. But let's go ahead and interact with this flight master really quickly, and we can see all the different areas we can fly to, and we can get a nice view of the main gates into Zul'Aman, which you can see the blue dungeon portal right there, which used to be a green raid portal, and you can see some cobwebs and this like fence right here made out of bones and wood, which is very, very interesting. But let's go ahead and run back down this way, because I have the Curbing the Plague quest, which I think I might go ahead and complete really quickly as we run this way, where we have a variety of vampiric mist bats around here. And I think the spindleweb lurkers are actually going to send us out this way, so I might just complete the vampiric mist bat part of this quest. And next episode, as we explore that way a little bit more, we can go ahead and complete that quest as well, which is then going to take us back to the Farstrider Enclave, but that's okay. And I think after that there is one more quest that takes place like around this area, so we will probably return to the Farstrider Enclave a couple more times in this series. But it's been fun to explore like this area in this episode, where I always love coming around to this area of the world and seeing like all of the Amani buildings here, as well as the old Blood Elf buildings, and seeing the entrance to Zul'Aman is always so much fun for me. I just love this environment a lot. But here is the last mist bat that I need to defeat, as well as the links who joined in on the fight, which, if I check the map now, we can see none of the lurkers are over here, and they are over here, so I think it makes sense that we go ahead and just explore this entire area all together next episode, where I have quite a few items in my inventory that I need to clean up, but we also have 5 quests that we can turn in. So let's go ahead and do the fun MMO thing, where we turn in a bunch of quests, spend some time cleaning up our inventory, and then maybe we can Hearthstone back to Tranquillian and log out in and in, so we can get some rested experience. I'd just like to have some rested experience so we can go ahead and level up a little bit more, though I don't really care too much about the level of this character. And I'm just trying to run past all these enemies, so hopefully we can get up here safely. And we have to run around, of course, but back onto my Hawkstrider and over towards the Enclave. 1 quest and a level up. 2 quests. 3 quests. And 4 quests. So there's 4 quests turned in, and now we have completed the entire southeastern area, where now we have the southwestern area, and we have this southern area of Deathholm that we can explore in the future.
Your gold is welcome here.
Where I think I'll go ahead and equip the staff, which means we'll go and sell these 2 items, and I can go ahead and sell that as well. And we got a talent point for our warlock tree, and I think I'll just throw it into demonic embrace, because I think increasing our stamina a little bit is going to be good for us. Where if I close this, we currently have 1,911 health, and I can apply this change here, where we now have 2,100 exactly health. But as far as this episode goes, I'm going to go ahead and call it good here, where we can explore more of the Ghostlands next episode. But I hope y'all enjoyed watching, and I hope y'all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember, as always, to drink some water, check your posture, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time in the world of Azeroth. Goodbye.